And welcome everyone to the 11th Big South Conference Football Media Day. Some of you have been here for every single one. Welcome back. We have several newcomers with us here as well, so we welcome you if it's your first time to the Big South Conference Football Media Day. And speaking of newcomers, I do want to welcome some new coaches we have with us this year. From Coastal Carolina, Joe Moglia. Joe's over here. From Liberty, Turner Gill. Also, Chuck Priori, the head football coach at Stony Brook, could not be with us due to a death in the family, but we welcome his offensive coordinator, Jeff Berman. We are always very fortunate to have great corporate partners that support us and our student athletes. We always have representatives here at our events, and we really appreciate their support. Up to now, you've been watching over here on the big screen, the slideshow from the Big South Conference Leadership Weekend that was held just a couple of weeks ago. It was another great event. We had nearly 50 Big South Conference student athletes that participated in the Leadership Weekend. Musco Sports Lighting has been a terrific supporter of the Leadership Weekend, and Mike Limpak and Dina Neely do an outstanding job. They actually come up for the entire weekend to help impart wisdom and help out. And unfortunately, they couldn't be with us here today, but I certainly want to recognize them for their support of our Leadership Weekend. We do have with us today some representatives from our other corporate partners. I want to recognize them now. From Condor Flags, Tim Gilland, Jeremy Barnes, and Ernie Creech. Gentlemen. Welcome. We're also very pleased to welcome our newest corporate partner in the Big South Conference, and that is Hardee's, and with us today are Phil Greer and Jerry Allsbrook. Gentlemen. Welcome to the Big South family. We appreciate your support. As you can see, we have a number of our football student athletes in attendance with us today, and I'd like to specifically call one out. Now, you've already heard me talk a little bit about leadership in regards to the Leadership Weekend. As many of you know, the Big South Conference professes to develop leaders through athletics. This young man is a prime example of that. I'm not recognizing him because of his leadership and his accomplishments on the football field, although those are plenty. I want to recognize him because as a junior last year, he was honored as a first-team academic All-American. He is senior wide receiver from Liberty, Pat Kelly. Pat, please stand. Congratulations, well done. Well, the 11-12 year was certainly very good to the Big South Conference. We had a bunch of great accomplishments, including student athletes being drafted into the NFL, WNBA, Major League Baseball, and Major League Soccer. Liberty finished 10th in the NCAA Men's Golf National Championship. We had a record 5 individuals selected to participate in the NCAA Men's Golf Championship. In women's basketball, High Point defeated Pittsburgh and Charleston Southern defeated Clemson, all within a 3-day span. Within 12 days, men's basketball teams picked up wins over LSU, Clemson, Cincinnati, Iowa, and Utah. 2 Big South men's soccer teams, Coastal Carolina and Liberty, were selected for the NCAA Championship. And the Big South had 2 teams ranked in the top 25 in football in the same week, in Stony Brook and Liberty. And last but certainly not least, Stony Brook got the Big South's first win in the NCAA FCS playoffs and almost the second win. There will be plenty of highlights in this coming year, and especially in football, where our teams just keep getting better and better. Well, in the Big South, we do believe in developing leaders through athletics. We talk about it continuously, but more importantly, we attempt to walk the talk. I've given you 2 examples of that already. You all know, however, that there are cynics that are critical of college athletics and point to our mistakes and failings as proof that we are hypocritical when we speak of leadership and other important values that are part of college athletics. These critics may point to the Penn State tragedy as one example of this. We've all been consumed and repulsed by this horrific story, and rightly so. But it is important to remember, and our critics sometimes tend to forget this, that college athletics are a part of society. As much as we try, we can't erect walls that evil cannot penetrate our world. Our leaders will fall just like those in society at large. It is unfortunate and sometimes truly tragic. Now, I'm not making light or certainly making excuses for Penn State or any circumstance that occurs in college athletics that is contrary to our mission. But what I am saying is that as leaders in college athletics, as people that truly believe in the values of participation in our great game can teach, we must learn from our mistakes and the mistakes of others. I believe that because of the fabric of college athletics, the culture of leadership, integrity, and honesty that we live day in and day out, we are uniquely positioned to use these lessons to make an impact on those that we are charged to lead and others that follow our programs. I would rather have my son involved in college athletics than in almost any other activity, because even though mistakes will be made and bad things can occasionally happen, just like in society, these occurrences will be fewer, and those responsible for his development will ensure that these tough lessons will have a lasting impact for good. Because there is so much interest in college athletics, there can be a tendency for us to think we are different or special. Well, we aren't different or special, but we are blessed. We are blessed that we can participate in this great game, be coaches, be athletics directors, or commissioners. We are fortunate that so many people care and support our programs. And we are blessed that we are in a position to make a difference in young people's lives. We must always remember that good fortune and that responsibility. Let the Penn State tragedy be a lesson. Let us learn that college athletics is a valuable part of the university, but it is only one part. One of the reasons I have valued my time with the Big South so much is the interaction that I have with the CEOs of our member institutions and their perspective on athletics. They are involved. They understand the value and the visibility of athletics, but they also understand its place. Colleges and universities exist to educate and, yes, develop leaders. Let us in intercollegiate athletics understand that and be an appropriate part of that education. Intercollegiate athletics can do so much good, and it does. Let's make sure we keep the focus on our core values. Let us have the courage to hold true to those values regardless of the pressure or the consequences. And let us make sure that we never forget the lessons from Penn State and that we use those lessons appropriately to develop future leaders. Thank you all again for your support of Big South Conference football, and best of luck this season.
Kyle, thanks very much.